Just need a sec to update the thumbnail. If you're watching this after it's already been streamed, maybe skip ahead about a minute because I got some stuff to do. I'm not sure if you could tell by my voice, but I am sick, which sucks. And this is one of those days that maybe I don't necessarily feel like streaming, but I'm doing it anyways because you have to have discipline. So we're doing it anyways. Let me just pull up my Rumble stream. So we are live right now simultaneously on YouTube and Rumble and Facebook and Twitter. For the past couple days I've just been streaming exclusively on Rumble. But I don't know, I think it's good to extend my reach to all platforms. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Sunday evening live. I'm sick, which sucks. I'm supposed to be at baseball right now, but I'm just feeling really low energy. I don't want to make the rest of my team sick and be selfish. So just chilling at home. Thought I'd come on a live stream. Easton Thomas, how's it going? Mark, how's it going? Chuck, how's it going? Jeffrey, how's it going? All right, we got some people in here. Again, like I said, I'm streaming right now on Rumble as well. Be sure to go follow me on there. The last 2 days, I've been streaming exclusively on Rumble. I'll just throw out a link to my Rumble in the comments now. There's a link to my Rumble. Please go follow me there. Trying to build it up. YouTube takes 30% of super chats, while Rumble only takes 20%. So it's better for the creator. If you tip on Rumble as opposed to YouTube, of course, it's all appreciated and you don't have to tip at all. But that's just another thing I like about Rumble is they don't take as much out of your super chats, which is awesome. Thomas, how's it going? Yeah, I saw your comment too. Yep, Viva is streaming right now on Rumble. I gave him a little donation over there. Rose Play, how's it going? We got my mom in the house. But yeah, I got some videos to pull up for you guys. You guys know I haven't been streaming on YouTube for the past couple days. I've been exclusively live over on Rumble because I had a video removed on here on YouTube for medical misinformation. Now, I personally didn't say anything, but I pulled up a video from Rebel News on Twitter, and they really got into some controversial talk with the CEO of Pfizer, and YouTube didn't really like that very much, so they removed my stream. It is what it is. Sucks, but you know, like I said, it is what it is. Okay, the stream is doing well here on Rumble, I see. Awesome to see that. Got another follower, up to 206 followers on Rumble. I know it's going to take kind of a while to grow. It's kind of like starting over again. But I don't know. It's good to be on multiple platforms, especially with how YouTube is. So I don't want to talk about too much and get annoying, but please go follow me over there on Rumble. But yeah, we got some videos that I'm going to pull up on the screen in a little bit here. Got a video from Rebel News. Got a video from Aiden Ross. Not sure if you guys know who Aiden Ross is. He's kind of more of like a streamer that kids in my generation watch, but he's kind of really taken a step back to try to become a good example for the youth. He's been following Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate's kind of just been guiding him. But yeah, I think he's a pretty good role model. I'm talking about Aiden Ross, of course. I think Aiden Ross is a pretty good role model for the youth, and he's definitely changed a lot. He's definitely matured a lot. So we're going to pull up a video from him in a bit here. Stephanie Barry, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that video's completely been censored on YouTube, which sucks. The stream's still up on Facebook, though, which is kind of surprising, because Facebook isn't always the best either. But so far, I've noticed a lot more leniency over on Facebook than I have on YouTube. So that's just something to note. And my Facebook page has been growing pretty well too. So shout out to everybody over on Facebook. Again, we're streaming right now live on multiple platforms. We're streaming on Rumble, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So shout out to everybody watching from all around. Please share this out. I need everybody to smash the like button regardless of where you're watching this on. Hit the like button and share the stream. That would be greatly appreciated. That is what helps the stream do well. That's what helps it reach more people. So yeah. My YouTube channel has been growing up to 12.7k subs, which is awesome to see. We did kind of slow down for a while, but we're going to start ramping it up again. Going to start ramping up the efforts on all platforms because I want 2023 to be my year. and I'm not going to let YouTube taking down a video slow me down in any way. So I think I've got my rambling out of the way. We're going to pull up these videos, starting first with the Aiden Ross video, and then we'll pull up the Rebel News video, and then I got another special video. But plug in my headphones here. Again, if you're just tuning in, I'm sick. That's why I sound like this. We need a briefing on the Steven Crowder and Daily Wire. Yeah, I definitely got to talk about that too. I'm going to have to look more into it. I'm going to be absolutely honest. Like, of course, I've heard about it, but I'm not 100% sure what's going on. All I know pretty much is that the Daily Wire gave, like, Steven Crowder an offer, and Steven did not like that offer. That's all I know. So I'm going to have to do some more investigation, and then I'll give my own take on it. Stephanie, thank you so much for putting my Rumble link out there. I don't want to like harp on it too much, but please go follow me on Rumble. It's a much better platform than YouTube, and Rumble takes less of a cut of your donations. Okay, so YouTube takes 30% of your super chats, while Rumble only takes 20% of your super chats. So definitely Rumble is the better option for creators, and of course they don't censor stuff as well. But I'm gonna hop into this video from Aiden Ross. Again, if you don't know who Aiden Ross is, he's kind of more of a streamer that kids my age watch, but he's definitely matured a lot, and he's trying to become more of a good example for the youth. So let's pull this up. Big shout out to Aiden Ross, big W. I'm gonna pull this up now. Let me know if you guys can hear the stream or the video that I'm about to pull up. Just make sure I got this all set up. Okay, good. Okay, let me know in the comments if you could actually hear this video.
What up, guys? Aiden. By the tell the video, I'm just gonna get straight into it. I let everyone down, bro. I'm honestly.
You guys hear the video? This is Aiden Ross.
I'm gonna take full accountability for it, and I'm not gonna lie and cover stuff up. And I'm gonna let y'all know when I slip and I fail, and I basically let temptation take over. Last night, guys, I went out and I drank. I've been on this journey where I haven't been having anything poison and toxic, and I've been in the gym and build my mind and my everything around my life like accordingly. And I just feel horrible because I know what I was doing.
See, look at this. Aiden Ross was recently banned on Twitch. While you have naked girls and hot tubs that are getting promoted by Twitch, you got Aiden Ross, who is telling the youth that drinking is bad, and he's trying his best to be a good role model for the youth, and he's getting suppressed while they're promoting bad content. So shout out to Aiden Ross. He's really came a long way, and he's really matured a lot. I just thought I'd pull this up because this is an example of somebody who's trying to be good for the youth and trying to spread a good example and be a leader.
Was strictly temptation, bro. Alcohol is literally straight from the devil, bro. We are not in a conscious space. You're not supposed to, you can't even drive normally when you have alcohol. You're not supposed to be drinking alcohol. As human beings, we're not supposed to be taking in alcohol. And honestly, bro, I'm not the type to, like I told you guys, cover it up and basically like say, oh, that wasn't me, I didn't do that. Like, no, bro, I really messed up last night and I did it. So I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm sorry for everyone that I let down, and now I can really understand how serious that is. You guys know I've been sobriety of everything. As of 2020, 2023, I've been no sex, no masturbation. Just clean, raw diets, working out every day. I'm still going to the gym today. I haven't missed anything at the gym. My body's been looking.
I've worked out every single day except for today because I'm sick, which sucks. I hate being sick.
Like I said, I had a nice little transformation. I'm really happy I saw some results. You guys actually showed it to me. I'll pull up a little picture here you guys can see. Woke up with a raging headache and just horrible thoughts and literally just gloominess and sadness, bro. I was just so sad. And I was texting people that I wouldn't have texted when I would, I was basically texting girls. And I shouldn't be texting girls because I was texting them because I was horny. Because I'm so celibate. I'm over 20 days celibate now. So I'm ultra horny. This is like where like it's getting super duper hard. That's ironic, right? But no, for real though, like thank God I didn't nut, but it's just crazy. The temptation is really trying to take over, but I promise you guys I'm gonna be better.
Shout out to Aiden Ross, trying his best to be a good role model for the youth, telling them not to drink because obviously that's not a good thing to be doing. Now, of course, everybody's got their own opinions on drinking. Of course, it's totally fine, in my opinion, for adults to do. but he's just trying to be a good example for the youth, which is great. You may not agree with him 100%, but at least he's better than these other people promoting, being degenerate. So shout out to Aiden Ross. We got another video to pull up from Rebel News. This is one that I know is not going to get me censored because it's up on their YouTube channel, so it should be pretty safe. I'm going to have to skip over the part, though, where they interview the CEO of Pfizer, just because that's what got me in trouble before. So we're not going to make the same mistake twice, even though I want to show it. I'm not trying to censor Rebel News. It's just me trying not to get censored myself from YouTube. So, and this is a good comment here too. Alcohol is not demonic, but anything is bad without moderation. Yeah, and alcohol ruins a lot of lives too. But of course, anything in moderation is fine. And if you could drink responsibly, then power to you. But here's a video here from Rebel. Hey, we got KP. KP says, sup everyone, just sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yeah, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. Again, we're also streaming on Rumble because we had a video removed from YouTube for misinformation, allegedly. So go follow me over on Rumble as well. Free speech platform. Great place. I'm just going to throw out another link to my Rumble there so you guys could go follow me on a platform that's a little bit less restrictive. But yeah, let's get into this video.
Did you rehearse your arrest at the German coal mine? Klaus Schwab himself could be deauthorized if he tests positive.
That's correct.
Well, the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, Switzerland is over. They're packing up their propaganda, taking down their Disneyland fake sets. You know, the whole town has turned into a kind of Potemkin village, like a movie set, but that's gone now. It's just a ski town in the Swiss Alps again. It would be lovely to come here on vacation. I mean, it's a little bit far away, but it's delightful. They make it hard to get here. They book up all the hotels in town, so people like us, unaccredited, unofficial journalists, have a tough time getting in. There are hundreds of journalists at the World Economic Forum, but they're all insiders. They're part of it. They're there to get their new message track, their narrative, and go out and propagate it. No one's there to do accountability journalism except for us. And boy, did we do it. We did over 24 videos over the course of the week, including the most successful video Rebel News has ever published. This interaction, I won't even call it an interview, this walking scrum with Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer. It's only 3 minutes, but it's been seen 10 million.
Okay, this is where I'm going to have to skip. I'm not trying to censor Rebel News, but I played this very video on my stream and got removed for medical misinformation. So we're just going to have to fast forward this video. So I'm not taking any more risks with my channel. This is probably the best idea.
He said, shame on you. Millions of people around the world really resonated with that. For 2 years, they've been shaking their fists at their TV while journalists lob softball questions to Albert Bourla. I'm not saying my questions or Avi's questions were perfect. We had to come up with them literally on the fly. We had only moments to think about them, but I think we put some good questions to him, and his haughty non-answers, I think, told the story. And then amazingly, the very next day, we encountered Greta Thunberg, the child prophet, who's actually 20 years old. The child actor is what I call her. That was a 20-minute walk and talk interview. I won't show you all 20 minutes, but here's a couple of highlights from it. Greta, how many times did you rehearse your arrest at the German coal mine? How many times did you rehearse it? Because it looks staged. Is it true?
This is pretty funny. So Greta Thunberg was ambushed pretty much by the Rebel News reporters. And it's funny because she's so used to these softball, underhand, easy questions. So when she's actually getting questioned with like real tough questions, she doesn't really know how to react. And you'll see this here. She just kind of starts awkwardly laughing and she kind of shuts down, which is it's really quite something to see.
You never protest Saudi Arabia or Russia. You only protest Western energy. Why have you never criticized Vladimir Putin or OPEC?
Yeah, I've never done that. Never, ever.
Will you do so now? Will you condemn OPEC energy? Why won't you condemn private jets? Have you ever been on a private jet even once?
I own 100 private jets.
Well, have you been on, how about once? Have you ever been on a private jet?
All the time, yes.
I wonder why you won't answer me in a straight answer.
So here she is just being kind of sarcastic.
Tell us who you're having talks to?
No.
Why are you having secret meetings? Let's get back to those private meetings. Why are you having private meetings? Secret meetings. Who are they having secret meetings with?
Come on, you let other people ask questions.
Yes, please. You believe them?
It's free speech, isn't it?
In addition to scrumming VVIPs like that, we did some other journalism too. We went into some of the pavilions. We talked to people who didn't run.
This is a funny comment. Yeah, I know. As soon as she realized that these journalists from Rebel weren't on her side and that they're actually asking these tough questions that people really want to know, she totally, as this comment says, got scared. You know, she didn't know how to react. She kind of just shut down, which is kind of funny to see.
Run away from us. Here's a few highlights of that. So Klaus Schwab himself could be.
And we got some more people tuning into the stream. I just want to say this real quick. Please be sure to like the stream and share the stream. It's very important that you do that. The stream is kind of being censored a little bit. I'm not 100% sure if it is being censored, but it seems that YouTube and Facebook is making it so not as many people can see the stream. They might be shadow banning it a little bit. So please share and like. Your share and your like goes a very long way.
Be authorized if he tests positive.
That's correct.
Wow, it's a very powerful control that you're perhaps one of the most powerful people here. I mean, you just are such a friendly face. I thought I'd say hi. We walked in earlier. I mean, the doors open. We saw people coming and going. They are extremely secretive, as is all of Davos.
Patrick, can someone help, please?
Help what? Hi. Hi. I don't know. I'm talking. She won't talk to me. I don't understand. Okay. Well, the door was open. Well, I want to understand what BlackRock's doing. I mean, you got your big black vehicles here. Larry Fink's on the board. So what are you guys here to do?
So I need to go. You approached me, so you're forcing me to go.
This
Where
is
are
a
you
funny
going?
comment.
Where are you going? Are there any advocates or activists for Russia here?
No, of course not. The Russians are forbidden here.
Okay, when you say of course not, have they been banned or something, or they just don't show up?
As you know, that
This is funny. Mark Gann says, I would love to pull an Elon Musk by YouTube. Please do. Mark, if you have the funds for it, please do, because we need some sort of change at YouTube.
okay. I'm sorry because Russians are not welcome here.
All in all, I think it was a very successful trip. Not
And
just
Russians aren't welcome at the World Economic Forum. That's kind of strange.
measured by view count, but the fact that we were asking contrarian questions, skeptical questions, which I think is the root of real journalism. What a difference from the official snobby propaganda class. You know, one of the most telling moments for me was when we were asking Greta Thunberg questions and other journalists in the press pack either heckled us, told us to stop, or answered the questions for her. Here's just a taste of that. He's answering for you.
Look how she's totally just shutting down. She just starts laughing. Like, it's almost like an awkward laugh. Like, she doesn't know what to say to these tough questions. So she just starts laughing. It's really quite something to see. I'm no psychologist, but it seems like it's kind of like a cope laugh.
He's answering for you. He said you had an agency.
Sometimes I wish I had one. It would be much simpler then.
Well, who was filming you then?
I don't know media.
You don't know who was filming you in Germany? He said he knows. He says it was an agency.
News agency, you idiot.
Exactly.
Come on, get out, please.
Rita, maybe you want to talk to a real journalist. What did you do here in Davos to go successful?
The nerve of that one guy to say, here's a question from a real journalist, and then to lob a softball. Mate, we know who the real journalists are, even if we don't have official accreditation. In fact, because we don't have official accreditation, there was another citizen journalist here from Japan named Misako. What a lovely young woman. She actually told us that she was inspired to become a citizen journalist by watching our reporter Avi Yamini here last year. I just want to show you a very short clip of Misako doing our style of journalism. She actually found Klaus Schwab. It's a very short exchange, but very revealing. Here's our friend Misako.
Chairman Schwab, I'm from Japan. May I ask you for... I'm from Japan.
Yeah.
And may I ask you for a comment?
No,
We're on our way to the next thing. We're a bit late.
I can just walk with you and then ask questions.
I think we're gonna rush actually. But thank you. Thanks very much.
But
Which media are you with?
I am an independent journalist from Japan.
No, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yes.
Wow.
But
Wow. Do you guys just see that? He asked, what media are you with? And as soon as she says that she's an independent journalist, he just completely ignores her. That is crazy to see. So he's not willing to talk to anyone who isn't affiliated with the mainstream media outlet. That is so crazy to see. Watch this again, folks.
may I ask you for a comment?
No, we're on our way to the next thing. We're a bit late.
I can just walk with you and then ask questions.
I think we're gonna rush actually. But thank you. Thanks very much.
Which media are you with?
I am an independent journalist from Japan.
No, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yes.
Wow, that folks, that's a clip right there. That is so crazy. As soon as he finds out that she's not with the mainstream media outlet, he is not interested in talking to her. Wow. Wow. That is crazy. Jeez. Yeah, man. That's quite something to see.
Thank you.
Good for her, and shame on Klaus Schwab. Well, we're about to pack up now. Our flight leaves in a few hours. Avi is already headed back to Australia, a very long journey. Me and another journalist are headed back to Canada. We have a few folks here from the UK too. I thought it was a great week of getting to know our other teammates from around the world. I wish we had more time to do, I don't know, touristy things, but there was no time for that because we weren't staying in Davos proper. We had to get up early to take the bus or train or car into the town, and then we were editing our videos late at night. We often ate at our Airbnb. We cooked a home-cooked meal, not just to save money, but to save time. To film all day and edit all night was quite a labor, but I hope you think it was worth it. And frankly, I hope you're proud of us, as I'm proud of our team. To see our people from different countries and different backgrounds working together with a common purpose and having such success really made me feel great. I really felt like Rebel News hit a new milestone. And to see the reaction online from some very senior people praising Rebel News as a team was very meaningful. In fact, I ended the trip, I suppose, with receiving a tweet from Elon Musk, who replied to my tweet talking about our citizen journalism with just 4 words: power to the people. And he's right. That's what we're doing. I'm so proud to be the boss of Rebel News. I never would have imagined 8 years ago when we founded it in my living room that we'd be here at an international event holding billionaires and oligarchs to account. I never would have thought it. I never would have thought we could do it, and we've done it.
Shout out to Rebel News for what they're doing. It's pretty much the end of this video. Of course, again, big props to Rebel News for all they're doing. Independent media outlet, really going in there and asking the tough questions. I'm not sure if I'll keep streaming because, again, I'm sick. I'm running on some pretty low energy, and we've already blown through my videos for the most part. I'll have you know, Sneeko liked one of my replies to his tweets today. So that was pretty cool. Sneeko is one of my favorite streamers, and he liked one of my replies. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. If there's anything else you guys want me to check out, let me know. I'll try to fish and try to find something here. Yeah, try to find something to pull up, but I think we're pretty much out of videos. Short little stream, but I still wanted to come on here and say hello to everybody. Once again, we're streaming on Rumble. YouTube takes 30% of your super chats, but Rumble takes 20%. So they're both great options if you want to support me and my channel. Of course, nobody is ever required to send me anything because I don't do this for the money. But if you are thinking about sending me a super chat, there's just that information that YouTube takes 30% and Rumble takes 20%. So please go follow me over on Rumble as well. It's more of a free, less restrictive platform. I have a lot more fun streaming over on Rumble than I actually do on YouTube because I feel like I'm not always biting my tongue over on Rumble. So, one sec. There's another link to my Rumble. Please go follow me over there. And we got my mom with the super chat. Thank you so much for that, Mom. Got my mom with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Got my #1 supporter in the house, which is, of course, my mom. So, thank you so much. But yeah, please click that link. Go follow me on Rumble. That's going to be one of my main platforms. The last 2 days I've been streaming exclusively over on Rumble just because you can kind of do whatever you want. And my mom says I just kind of like the way super chats look on YouTube. And we got Stephanie with the 20. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Jeez, Stephanie Barry with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Stephanie. Jeez, I appreciate that. Of course, guys, super chats are never required, okay? You're absolutely 100% free to watch my streams without donating. It's not a requirement at all, but it is just another way to help support me and my channel if you wish. Helps fund equipment like this microphone right here, and anything else to upgrade my stream. But yeah, thank you so much for that, Stephanie. Please watch the latest Crowder videos. Okay, you know what? Actually, instead of ending the stream, I'm gonna pull up Steven Crowder in the whole Daily Wire debacle. Again, I haven't really taken much of a look at this, so this is kind of my first look at the whole Steven Crowder debacle. I've got to look it up with this keyboard. Okay, I'll just look up Steven Crowder. Okay, this is like an hour-long video. I don't know if I want to watch that whole thing. Let's see. What do you guys think I should watch? Yeah, there's a ton of videos that pop up. Stephanie says, I reward content creators even if you are sick. Thank you so much for that, Stephanie. And yeah, I know I'm kind of low energy today. I hate that. I love bringing the energy and getting people excited and hyped up. But I am sick, which sucks. I hate being sick. I'm the type of person who can't just kind of sit there on their phone bored. I'm the type of person who always has to be doing something. So when I'm sick, I just absolutely hate it. Jeremy Boring's message? Okay. That's a 52-minute video, though. But you know what? Let's do it. Really quick, I'm going to run to the washroom. I've been drinking a ton of water since I'm sick, and I really got to pee. So, folks, I'll be like literally 10 seconds, all right? I'll be right back. I apologize. All right, folks, sorry for that. That was kind of a longer pee. It kind of took a while. It kind of just kept coming. So I'm sorry about that. But I'm back. Let's hop into this Steven Crowder debacle. It's 52 minutes long, folks. I don't know, honestly, if I'm going to be able to get through this whole video. But we will see.
All right. Our friend Steven Crowder has launched a new initiative called Stop Big Con. And in the video announcing the launch of the project, he talked about leaving the blaze and all the different offers that he fielded from other conservative organizations and what he thought were the real problems with those offers. And that's led a lot of people to speculate about whether or not the Daily Wire is one of the people who made him an offer. In particular, are we the ones who made the offer that he put up on the screen and talked about at length? And the answer is yes, that offer did come from the Daily Wire. I'm not trying to hide that fact. I'm not ashamed of that fact. In fact, I think it's a very good offer. But I think there's a lot of sort of misconceptions about the nature of the offer, the nature of the points. I think Steven misunderstood a lot of the points. And so the way we do here at the Daily Wire, we're just going to be incredibly transparent. You know that we like to have our members be a part of the journey. We live stream all of our company town halls, for example. We just find that sunlight sometimes is the best disinfectant. And so with that in mind, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we came to be in conversations with Stephen, how those conversations ended, and walk you just line by line through what the actual document that we sent over to him, a non-binding term sheet, what it actually said and why. First thing you should know is that I'm really miserable to be making this video. Stephen's been my friend for 10 years. I think he's maybe the most talented person working in the conservative media space. He's one of the top entertainers in the country, politics notwithstanding, a great comic voice. And I find it really tragic that we're having this kind of a conversation. But it's also very important, I think, that we talk about it, in particular because I know a lot of people who are fans of the Daily Wire were really offended by the things that Stephen said in the video, and they're concerned that maybe we're doing the wrong thing. And I think that by the time we finish this video, you'll understand what we were thinking with our term sheet and how we operate as a business a little bit better. I've wanted to be in business with Stephen since the day that I met him. Ben and I tried to do some even movie deals with Stephen before there was CRTV and before there was a Daily Wire. For that entire time, we've talked at length at various times about getting together and doing things. Of course, for most of that time, he's been under contract, first at CRTV and then at the Blaze. So we weren't able to. And from time to time during the years, we would get together and daydream a little bit about would there be a future for us to work together at the other end of that deal. We got word that Stephen was finishing up his time at the Blaze and was interested in having a conversation with us. And so we reached out to his agent and we said, listen, we'd love to have a conversation. It's not every day that a monster talent like Stephen comes on the market. We'd be bad businessmen if we didn't engage in a conversation with him. We weren't sure at that time if there was a deal to be had. I mean, for one thing, we're friends with Glenn, we're friends with Tyler, we're friends with all the guys at the Blaze. We weren't sure that we wanted to commit to making an offer to Stephen. And Stephen's an expensive talent. I mean, he's been in the business a long time. He has an enormous fan base, and we knew that it would take a lot of doing to get him over to the Daily Wire. This at the same time that we're investing very heavily in kids' entertainment content and making real television content, streaming scripted fiction like the Pendragon Cycle and Atlas Shrugged and other projects that we've taken on. Would we have the resources? We weren't sure. But again, you have to have the conversation, and we were happy to have it. So we reach out to the agent and we say that. We say, we'd like to have a conversation with Stephen, kind of get into the details of what's he looking for? What's he looking for financially? What's he looking for in terms of structure? What would make his life better? What would make him happy? He's got this opportunity now to have a next chapter. What's he want that next chapter to be? And Stephen's agent candidly just wasn't interested in any aspect of that conversation. He only wanted to know about the money. He said, we're not going to have a conversation. We're not going to have some abstract talk. We're going to send us an offer. Tell us how much money you're willing to pay. And he gave us an indication of what the minimum number would have to be in order to even have a discussion with Stephen. And it's a big number. So we talked about it internally, and we decided, yeah, we should do that. We should send over an opening offer, a non-binding term sheet that takes us.
Hey, thank you so much, Carl Hammers, for the 50 stars over on Facebook. I appreciate that. If you're watching on Facebook, stars is another way to support me and my channel. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure like a certain amount of stars is like equivalent to a certain amount of dollars. So thank you so much again. So Carl Hammers, thank you so much for that.
Stab at what we think that minimum number is going to be to get the conversation started, so that we can sit down with Stephen, so that we can see if there's a deal that'd be good for him and good for us. And that's what we did. We put together the term sheet, we sent it over, and we asked if we could get on the phone and have a conversation with Stephen. I'm going to walk you through that document, what it says, what it doesn't say, some of how Stephen represented it. I'm sure he feels like he was being accurate, but some of the things that he said are simply not true based on the text. And Stephen's a very passionate guy. I think that he's doing his level best to stand against what he sees as an injustice, but there is no injustice in this document, as I think you'll see. And then I'll tell you what happened right after we sent the document, when I finally did get on the phone with Stephen. So first, here's the document, the non-binding confidential term sheet. I'm just going to walk you through it. Full transparency. This non-binding term sheet sets forth the basic deal points of a proposed content production and distribution agreement between the Daily Wire, LLC, a Texas limited liability company, and Steven Crowder via his loan out, so that if and when the parties elect to move forward with a long-form agreement, they can move quickly in preparing a definitive.
I'm just reading this here. $50 million for the initial term, plus $25 million for the renewal term. Jeez. That is a large chunk of change, folks.
Binding agreement. That's just legalese. That means this is just a conversation starter, and we're obviously going to have a negotiation if we move forward, and a lot of these points are going to get beat up. And for those of you who've never been through a contract negotiation, well, that's how it works. When you send someone an offer, you don't send them everything that you're willing to say yes to, because there is going to be a negotiation, because agents and lawyers are going to get involved, because you can't read their mind. You don't know everything that will be important to them and everything that they'll want. You don't know even, some of their sort of non-negotiable points. And so you send over a loose offer, and then they're going to beat it up a little bit. They're going to say, well, this should be higher and this should be lower. And you're going to come back and say, no, we're going to stand firm here, but we're willing to compromise there. And over time, you either get to a deal or you don't get to a deal. But that's how a good faith negotiation always works. 100% of every interaction I've ever had with any talent, that's the process. And so here we go. Here was our offer. A 4-year initial term with 2-year renewal at DW's sole discretion. That just means Steven's going to work for DW for 4 years. And if it's going really well, DW can retain him for an additional 2 years. 2, the fee. And remember, this is the minimum number that we thought would get the conversation started with Steven. $50 million for the initial term, plus $25 million for the renewal term, if extended.
Folks, let me know in the comments, do you think that Steven Crowder is worth this much?
Paid in monthly installments. Like I say, a pretty big number, but we thought for a talent like Steven, this is probably the minimum number that's going to get us in the door so that we can sit down and talk to him. 3, production costs. This is important. We've never made a deal quite like the offer that we put in front of Steven, because Steven, very independent guy. I mean, all of our talent have very independent voices. Obviously, we can't tell them what to say. Candace says what she wants, and Jordan Peterson says what he wants, Ben, Michael. But Steven has always built in this protection for himself that he wants to actually produce his content. He doesn't want, most of our guys that come to the studio and we turn on the cameras, we point the cameras, we point the lights. Steven likes to do that with his own team to just make doubly sure that no one's interfering with his content, not that we would. And so we anticipate.
Here's a comment here. If Steven Crowder gets banned on another platform, Daily Wire could fine him millions or boot him. That's something that's not really being explained here by Jeremy Boring. That's kind of, don't know about that. Mark also says he is worth way more. James Lucas here says Daily Wire was trying to rob him. Seems like a controlled opposition from my perspective. American drama I could care less about. And yeah, I don't know. Although $50 million, folks, is a lot of money, Steven Crowder is a very influential person. So, I don't know. And if this is true, Mark, what you said here, then that's horrible. Because, he, with the stuff that he talks about, he absolutely runs the risk of getting banned. So, if he does get banned on a platform, I guess Daily Wire is saying that he's losing some of his reach and influence. So, they could fire him, fine him millions, or boot him. Wow, that's crazy. Easton Thomas says it's not fair. They want to own him like he's an object and not a product.
Anticipated that, and we said Crowder will bear the burden of production, including all costs associated therewith, on all the content contemplated herein, except on the quarterly and annual content contemplated below. We'll get to that part a little bit later. It's kind of a novel concept. The quality of the production will be as good as or better than is currently existing content. This just, again, Steven's going to produce his own content. It has to be as good as the stuff that Steven's audience has come to expect from him, and that'll come out of the $50 million. So it's not like all of that $50 million goes right in Steven's pocket. He's going to use some of it to pay for producers and studio space and camera equipment and operators and lights, just like we're going to use some of the money that we make to pay for the infrastructure and the technology and the marketing and the legal and all the other parts that go into making a successful business. Revenue collection, that says we'll have the exclusive right to realize revenue in connection with all of his content and brand. We're paying you this guaranteed significant amount of money, $50 million. And for that, one of the things we're buying is the content, but we're also buying the right to monetize the content so that we can have a chance of making some money and not just spending money. What is the content? First, we broke this into daily, monthly, quarterly, and annual content. The daily content is going to be very obvious to you. He'll deliver a 1.5-hour Louder with Crowder audio-video show of a quality and kind consistent with the shows that he's currently producing 4 days a week. That's 192 original episodes a year if you factor in 4 weeks of vacation. including all ad reads and promotions as requested by us. So he's going to continue to produce his show, his Louder with Crowder show, 4 days a week, 192 times a year. And that'll include us being able to put ads in it and promotions in it. They'll be filmed in studio daily, Monday through Thursday. At least 1 hour of them will be outside the paywall. That's much how Stephen already operates. That's the part that goes out on podcasting. It's the part that goes out on YouTube. It's the part that goes out on Rumble. And at least 30 minutes inside the DW Plus paywall. So in the same way that right now he has his Piss Off YouTube segment that has historically been at Blaze, well, he would still do that same kind of concept. 30 minutes of the show would now be behind our paywall. Crowder can bank or pre-record a limited number of episodes upon our approval and reasonable discretion. Days without new original episodes will be scheduled in advance, subject to our reasonable approval. What's this about? Well, a guy like Crowder, in addition to his 4 weeks of vacation, there's just also going to be times where he, for whatever reason, maybe he's got a speech, maybe he's got a stand-up comedy gig somewhere around the country. If he were to come to us and say, hey, I can't really shoot a show on Thursday because I'm going to be doing this stand-up gig, that's fine. Let's shoot 2 episodes on Tuesday and we'll roll one of them out on Thursday. It's just giving us all the maximum flexibility to still make the episodes, but for Stephen to be able to live the other important parts of his life. 192 episodes. Obviously, there are 260 work days in a year. Most Americans work 260 days a year minus 10. That's 2 weeks of vacation. So they work about 250 work days a year. And we're telling Stephen, you've got to produce 192. So already, even to say 4 weeks of vacation, that is probably above average, but it doesn't really capture the reality of this, which is there are going to be, 60 days basically of the year where Fridays, we call them, where Stephen basically doesn't have to produce a show. And you may say, well, that's still a lot. I know Stephen says that's more than even, network TV would ask for. Yeah, these are points that can be negotiated. I still think most people feel like, if you're only working 4 days a week and you get 4 weeks off every year and you can pre-schedule even additional time to be traveling by banking episodes, you would at least say, you may think, well, he needed to negotiate that and get it down to 170 or something. Sure, I thought he would, but it's certainly not unfair to expect someone that is making $50 million. I
don't know. What do you guys think? Is this unfair or not?
Over the next 4 years to, work 192 days a year. That brings us to monthly content. What is monthly content? Well, at Daily Wire, our members are entitled to an all-access once a month with most of our talent. And that's where our members get to interact with them, sort of one-on-one, ask them questions. So we're saying once a month he would have to do a 90-minute all-access and any promotions and ad reads that would go in that. Right now, there are no ad reads in all-access. But again, you're giving yourself, it's a 4, possibly 6-year deal. You're giving yourself a little latitude for things to change. Quarterly content. We asked that Stephen would produce one major promo video and photo shoot coordinated by us for his content at the company. We would want him to 4 times a year come in and make a very well-produced promo, that gives us marketing assets to be able to go out and sell subscriptions, sell Mug Club, sell any merch that we were doing with him, sell the entire idea of DW Plus, and one backstage episode a quarter or other major live event and VIP experience.
Okay, this is crazy. If he misses an episode, he gets fined 7 figures. Now, honestly, I'm kind of understanding where Crowder is coming from now. He doesn't want to lose his total freedom over his show, which is seeming like this Daily Wire offer is kind of taking a lot of his freedom away. Even though it is a lot of money, you don't want to sell out just for money. Maybe he wants to have more control over what he's doing, and he doesn't want to take this offer. So honestly, you can't really blame Stephen for that.
So, and annual content. This was a new concept. We said that Stephen would do one feature-length entertainment special. That's like a stand-up comedy special. And that Stephen would do one feature-length political special. And that's like a documentary, like What is a Woman? This is something we're doing with all of our talent now. You saw it first with What is a Woman with Matt. Then in addition to his daily show, he brought us this amazing documentary. You saw it with Candace with Greatest Lie Ever Sold. And we've got a lot more projects like that in the work with our other talent now. It's really become an important part of our business model. Here's the key, though. He doesn't have to pay for that out of his $50 million over the next 4 years. We would pay an additional amount every year for that. In the case of the political documentary, we'd give another $1.25 million of production costs. In the case of the entertainment, depends on how it breaks down, but we'd give between $500,000 and $2.5 million more dollars. So, you're talking about just this is.
And here's another thing too, Steven would also have to follow his advertisers' guidelines, so he'd be losing a lot of his freedom over his own show. And I've seen some comments saying that he would own none of his brand as well. So honestly, you can't really blame Steven.
More than 8 figures over the 4 years, in addition to the 50 over the next 4 years. And then E, additional Crowder content. What is this? I don't know, but presumably over the next 4 to 6 years, we might come up with other things that either he wants to do or we want to do. So we built a sort of catch-all bucket. If we and Crowder mutually agree to create additional content not currently contemplated, then we'd pay him $15,000 a day for that shoot. And again, a lot of that would be days he was already shooting, so that's just a little extra money in his pocket if we do something extra. Item 6, the back catalog. Crowder will license his entire back catalog, including without limitation every past episode of Louder with Crowder, to us during the term. That just means that all the episodes that already exist would also be behind our paywall during the term. At the end of the term, all of that content that we didn't actually pay for would revert to Crowder at the end of the term. But we would have it in the meantime. 7, ad reads and promo reads. DW will have the exclusive right to sell ads on the Crowder content on all platforms, channels, websites, apps, widgets, pages, and lists owned, branded, or controlled by us, and on any Crowder-owned or controlled social channels, email lists, websites, etc., including Louder with Crowder.
Here, let's see, what's this? Sorry to pause the video. So I was kicked out here and giving a warning from YouTube that the video I'm watching may be considered offensive. What? I literally haven't played anything offensive whatsoever. So YouTube, thanks a lot for doing that. And I guess I'm already kind of in YouTube's bad books. But this is weird right here. That is crazy. Again, guys, another reason why you should be following me on Rumble. I'll put a link to my Rumble once again there in the comments. Please go follow me there. More of a free speech platform. I'm streaming right now simultaneously on YouTube and Rumble. So click that link in the comments to go follow me over on Rumble. It was during the Greta stuff. That wasn't even that controversial, though. Jeez, that's funny. Silly YouTube, just up to their usual games.
.com. And it says remuneration for that is included in the fee. So what does this mean? Well, this is just how are we going to make, first, that at least bare minimum 50 million. And if you count the other things we were talking about, 60 plus million, plus we knew he was going to negotiate. So you're probably talking about 70, 75 million, plus infrastructure, plus marketing, at least $100 million we would have ended up spending over the next 4 years. Well, how are we going to pay for all of that? Well, one way is we're going to sell ads on all this content. And you know this is how we handle all of our shows. He has to, item B, Crowder will read the ad copy and promos as requested by us, though he'll have certain rights to disapprove of some ad sponsors for various reasons, right? He can disapprove of like 10% of the ones we bring him. He can disapprove if he owns equity in a direct competitor of one of the advertisers that we bring him. But point D, if he doesn't read the requested ads within that framework, then the content that he made won't be counted as delivered under the contract because...
Okay, what? So if he fails to read any promos in a piece of content, it will constitute a failure to deliver such content. But it will not prevent Daily Wire from releasing and monetizing the content. So Steven Crowder is going to be kind of forced to read these ads whether he likes them or not. So another reason why he probably didn't want to join is he did not want to lose freedom over his show. You know, being forced to read out advertisements, or else you're told that your content just doesn't even count. That's crazy.
It's all fine and good that he made a piece of content, but if we can't make any money off of it, then we're just paying him so that he can make a show. We're not paying him so that we can participate in any of the success of that show. 8, ownership. This is a very important point. Daily Wire will own all of the content created herein and will own all of the DW created channels and brands created by us during the term. And to be clear, we can exploit those channels, brands, and content in perpetuity at our sole discretion. What does this mean? Well, it means just like all of the back catalog.
Yeah, my mom says here too, sorry to pause the video, but YouTube takes 30% of donations. Rumble takes 20% of donations. I think PayPal takes like 1% of donations. So that's also another option. I got a link to that in my description. Thanks, Mom. Another fine if he doesn't bend to Daily Wire. Yup. And as I'm watching this video, I'm starting to understand a lot more where Steven is coming from. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this whole video, though. It's pretty long. We've been streaming for almost an hour. We're going to keep playing it a little bit longer at least, but I don't think I'm going to get through the whole 52-minute video because that's just a really long time to be watching this.
Catalog that Crowder would have been bringing over. We would have a license to have that all over at Daily Wire Plus during the 4 to 6 years that Crowder was here. But at the end of that 4 to 6 years, he would take all that content with him. A little bit different with the content that we're paying, tens of millions of dollars for during the course of that content would always stay with us. We would have a sort of perpetual right to monetize that content even after Crowder would leave. And, if Matt Walsh were to leave the Daily Wire, presumably at some date in the future, well, what as a woman would stay here? Because we paid for that. We paid for the marketing of it, the production of it. We paid him for the time in which he created it. And so this contemplates something very similar. We would still have the right to the things that we make. As far as channels and brands, I'll get to that in just a minute because it's addressed more deeply as we go. Adaptation rights. All this says is that anything that Crowder says on any of this content, we can adapt it down into written content and put it up at dailywire.com. So,
here Mark says, watch Steven Crowder's rebuttal to this video. He explains the contract in detail. So, you know what? Instead of finishing this Daily Wire video, we're going to pull up Steven Crowder's rebuttal to this. All right. Video's titled, I didn't want to do this. Is this the right video, Mark? Hopefully it is.
They don't get deals that...
They can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand. They can be wage slaves for a little bit.
Whoa. This is a phone call recorded. I think that's Jeremy Boarding on the other line. Jeez.
Be wage slaves for a little bit.
God bless the talk boy. Those things are worth like $5,000 now. It's an expensive gag. So didn't want to have to do this, but Daily Wire outed themselves very, very quickly. And sure enough, if you see all of the people who work there, some of whom I have relationships with, they immediately tried to make this all about money. Here's the problem. There are a few problems, and I'll go through with some receipts. Everything that was said about negotiations, how they transpired, beyond the numerical value, which is true and I'll get to, everything else is untrue. I don't really want to get into that. It's completely irrelevant. Here's why. Go back to the 20-something minute video, 30-minute video. You've never heard me say or write anywhere online that these offers weren't paying enough money. Why? Because it's not about the money. It's kind of unreal to me that the only thing these people can still talk about is the money. The conversation was about conservatism, the movement, and big tech. They keep talking about money. I'm talking about a country. I'm talking about a movement. I'm talking about making a difference. It's not about the money. And Jeremy and the Daily Wire know that. How do I know they know that? Because after, according to what he said, I walked away from the offer. I did place...
Hey, we got Stephanie Berry with another 20 bomb. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Jeez, you did not have to do that. Thank you so much. Stephanie Berry with the second super chat of the night. Thank you so much for that, Stephanie. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
One more call to the Daily Wire. And I made it very, very clear that it wasn't about money. That was not the topic of conversation. There was zero, as they've tried to portray this, miscommunication. It was one last call where the only thing that I asked for, my only demand, was their word, and not even for me, but for other people coming up facing these kinds of contracts. Let's say it's a kid who comes in with 500,000 YouTube subscribers or something like that, 100,000. Let's say it's some other kid you're paying, you're paying six figures to come in and do it. There's not the penalty of the demonetization or if they're removed from iTunes, Apple, YouTube.
Yeah, sure there would be.
And here's something else. I was also very measured. I was painstakingly clear in taking myself off the table because it wasn't going to be a right fit. That happens in business all the time. But that we weren't talking about me. We were talking about the futures of other people who could potentially be in that position, that very disconcerting position. No miscommunication. What I'm talking about is you're describing a model for everyone, not just, let's get rid of me here. Everyone, if there's a penalty for being demonetized on YouTube, because your business model requires that be a huge component of it, you need to change your business model or this movement cannot work, Jeremy. I can't imagine my show trying to come up and be beholden to YouTube advertiser guidelines, let alone, I mean, honestly, being beholden from a conservative entity with hard strikes, right, being removed, but let alone being advertiser friendly. We know how broad those guidelines are. They might as well just read, don't say anything offensive, and they change them at the drop of a hat.
I'm not suggesting that the guidelines aren't terrible. I'm suggesting that if making money off of those platforms is part of how you're justifying the salary you're paying someone, then or the fee I keep saying salary, the fee you're paying someone, then when those go away, everybody loses money. You can't pay the same amount with less revenue.
How about you create a different business model? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Of course, telling someone else, hey, change your business model. I get it. I'm in no position to say that unless, instead of Monday morning quarterbacking it, here's the thing. I didn't just offer criticisms. I offered a guide on how to, here's the deal. I want to sit at the table with people who, granted, have an immense amount of power and have incredibly deep pockets. That is all true, to be clear. And by the way, it's something that I want to have on our side of the aisle. But I offered a guide on how to do it. It is incumbent, this is what this is about. It is incumbent upon conservatives, if we believe what we say, to uncouple, to divest, if you want to use that term, from big tech, right? For the business models of the movement as we move forward, to not rely on playing ball with Facebook and with YouTube. That is something that we have to move toward. You know that we've been trying to do that here for years. That's why every single show we say, hey, if you can watch on Rumble, please do so. We're not looking to be banned on YouTube, but we certainly won't compromise the truth in order to be advertiser friendly. Here's the thing, Daily Wire, Jeremy, and I really do hope that we can talk at some point. Please, you can pick up the phone. We've done that. We here have found a way to make that work. For proof, see election night, our numbers on Rumble there, and see the numbers on Rumble when we get suspended from YouTube. I think it was 4 times this last year, and I went to great lengths to communicate that to the people at Daily Wire. There can be no next me if the people at the top with the financial resources are doing the bidding. That's being the arm of big tech. What you just said is, well, we have to play ball with big tech if we want to make money. Well, I don't. Why don't you guys follow a model like I have? And
you have to give respect to Steven Crowder for this, saying that he's not going to compromise the truth just to be advertiser friendly. You have to give him props for that.
Scale it. That's what I've been doing since 2014. You know that. Has been trying to make sure, which I thought we were all doing, that we can all flip the bird to Silicon Valley. This is saying we need him and you need to play ball. And by the way, before some of you ask for this, look, there's always personal information on phone calls. And for the record, I've recorded 3 people on phone calls in my life. All 3 are involved with big tech. Just to be clear, the entire call transcript has been sent to others to verify without hopefully having to release the whole thing. And I'll be on Tim Pool's show, I believe, on Monday to talk about it. Now, this is something else that's been brought to my attention. Look, some people have been sent out from Daily Wire and have gotten very personal. Obviously, when we released this video, we didn't name names, and I told you there are a lot of people in the space who have made offers, and it is true. There are quite a few, and there are some others that have been pretty similar to this. This isn't an incredibly unique scenario, but there have been some good people out there too, and we're still talking with them. So I do know that some people from Daily Wire have come out, maybe been instructed to. I have no idea. I don't care. And they've gotten very personal. I don't want to do that. At least I didn't want to. But now it's sort of necessary for me to do so. So these are the only personal things I will say about the people at Daily Wire. Andrew Klavan is one of my favorite people of all time. He has an unbelievable skill to make you feel like the smartest guy in the room, even though I guarantee you he's smarter than you. There are very few people whose company I enjoy more than Andrew Klavan. Jordan Peterson is not only a friend, I would go to the wall for him. He's a guy who has changed the landscape of our country for the better. Can't say enough good things about him. Ben Shapiro is possibly the smartest person I know. That's as personal as I'll get. Now, here's the thing. Only after that final call, after negotiations had followed through, pleading on the side of principle and knowing that it was completely met with deaf ears, did I come out like I did? See, here's the thing. Daily Wire, they keep talking about a business. Well, I walked away from the table because I'm talking like it's about a country, about a movement. And this is the thing. The response that I've heard over the years is not just now. I've been doing this for a long time. You constantly hear, it's just business. It's just business. Well, guess what? It's not to me. Sure, I run a business, but it's not just business. And let me ask you, when have you ever heard someone say it's just business when they're doing the right thing? Ever hear someone give $250,000 to charity and say it's just business? And here's something that I would like.
It's actually a really good point that Steve is making here.
Like to ask you, because I know that they've tried to play the identity politics and, misrepresent the whole financial situation. But yeah, over the course of 4 or 5 years, the total operational budget, meaning 25, 30 employees, all of the costs, security, health insurance, would have been somewhere in the $50 million ballpark for that total operational budget. That is true. Okay. First off, I think it's a good thing for conservative companies out there to be generating or capable of generating far more than that. It'd be better than just Disney and just Netflix and just Hulu Plus. And I'd like the people who are in charge of that to be people who are willing to walk away from that if it comes with strings attached, with people who hate everything you stand for. So let's take that at face value, okay? I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? Put yourself in my shoes. What would it take? How much do your principles matter to you? What kind of a headspace would you have to be in to walk away full stop from $50 million? Let me ask you even further. What would it take for you to be willing to walk away from at least $50 million because of it causing harm to someone else that doesn't even affect you? But the next kid. I've talked about this, you have it in comedy. I'm never going to be the guy who pulls the ladder up after me. What motivates me is not money. Of course, everyone here likes nice things. They want to make a living. You've heard me say this many times. I want to pass the torch. I want there to be someone else to do this. It can't happen if this is how our movement is structured. And you know that, by the way, this could do irreparable damage to the movement, the country, and the people who've fought so hard for the ground gained if we've decided to get in bed with these people who want to strip it away. I'm asking, would you walk away? What would it take for you to walk away from $50 million? Because it's true. That's exactly what I did. It's exactly what I'm doing. And so long as these contracts out there include enforcement of big tech, of punishing
Oh, that 20 was from Coda? Thank you so much, Coda. I appreciate that, man. Much love to you. Coda B123, massive shout out. Much love. Appreciate that.
Conservative creators, on behalf of the people we claim to fight and the people who have long since demonetized us and can't stand me, and part of me doesn't blame them.
Hey, Coda B123, much love. I appreciate the 20.
As long as these contracts include that, not even for me, but the next person, I wouldn't take $1 billion.
And you got to respect Steven for sticking to his principles, too. He's stated that this is not about money for him. This is about his principles. So nothing but respect for that. And honestly, I don't think Daily Wire's offer is horrible, but I definitely 100% see where Steven's coming from. He doesn't want to lose his freedom on his own show, and he doesn't want to stick to a regiment what he has to say. He doesn't want to have to read out ads. He doesn't want to have to try to be advertiser friendly. He wants freedom to do his own thing, and can't blame him for that.
And certainly not if you understand in context, when behind closed doors, I know, and these people know, and acknowledge exactly what's being done to the next generation of creators.
Bench talent, young talent, they don't get deals like this.
So they don't get deals that...
They can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand.
that you then own.
Well, I own parts of it. I don't own it. They can, when their contract's up, they can still go out and they'll still be famous. They can keep doing their shows, so go do a show somewhere else. They'll be in a far, far, far better place. You helped to make them.
No, not long as this contract. This contract owns it in perpetuity even after the contract. You're paying a lease but getting ownership. That's what this contract is.
On the content that we paid to produce, yes.
You know, look, I understand there are going to be differing opinions on this. I understand that. As someone who does run a business and has to I think maybe 25 employees, I don't know, we're expanding. I understand people run businesses differently and have different priorities. Here's the thing. I would genuinely still, Daily Wire, Jeremy, love to sit down at the table and explain to you how you can make all of this work, how you can scale what we do and not have to be beholden to the people who we all go out and claim that we're fighting, and especially with all of the financial resources that you have, which, by the way, are very impressive. And by the way, since fielding requests for people who've sent this in you guys are under these kinds of contracts, right? You've sent in your emails. If you're looking to either join a network or looking to navigate these contracts, we've been flooded. I'm going to try and get to all of you. But here's the thing. Let me give you my word right now, my word. Everyone, you can timestamp it, call me on it. Here at Mug Club, we will never take any ownership over your social media platforms or your channels, and I don't want a dime ever of your YouTube revenue. You make your own decision as to whether you want to be monetized or not. Some people want to, some people don't. I just have a problem with requiring that you do and penalizing you if you don't. And to Daily Wire, to the rest of the people out there, give me a call. And look, let me put it this way. If you give me your word, this is all that matters here. Just give me your word that there will never be a clause in a contract again for some unsuspecting kid or someone who doesn't have the luxury to walk away from $50 million, as I did, true, guilty as charged. Give me your word that you will not penalize them 25% for demonetization, another 20% for a strike, another 20% for Facebook, Spotify, Apple, up to 80%. Just give me your word that that clause, that spirit will not be in any contract sent out to anyone else who's at the front lines fighting for this country, and we're done. All of this stops right now. You will never hear from me again. I will go out and sing your praises. You can pick up the phone. You have my word. That's all it is. That's all this is about. In the interim, to everyone else, stopbigcon.com. Be a signatory. I'll see you Monday. Tim Pool.
All right, folks, that's it for the Steven Crowder video. And I think I'm going to end my stream here. We've been live for over an hour. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. My final take on this whole Steven thing. Steven wants to keep the freedom to do his own show. He doesn't want to be beholden to advertisers or, having to say the right thing. He wants to be able to say what he wants. He wants to have the freedom to do his own show, and you can't blame him for that. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on Rumble, follow me over there. If you're watching on Facebook, follow me over there. Whatever platform you're watching me on, please follow me there. I want to promote something real quick. It's my Discord server. This is my own kind of private server where you could come and chat. I come in here every now and then, so if you want to have like a one-on-one conversation with me, best way to do that is by joining my Discord server, and I hop in here every now and then. So I'll just throw out a link for that. We got like 60-something people in my server right now. We're trying to get that up to 100. So click that link that I just put there in the comments to join. Again, it's kind of just a place with a lot of like-minded individuals where you can just kind of come, hang out, and chat. Again, like I said, I pop in there every now and then. So if you want to chat with me, that's kind of the best way to do it. So click that link. Also, one more time, I'll throw out the link to my Rumble channel. Try to grow that. We've been gaining a lot of followers recently on Rumble. There will be days where I exclusively stream on Rumble only and nowhere else. So if you want to see all my streams, follow me on Rumble as well. But that's pretty much for all my plugs and promos. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please like and share the stream. That helps it out immensely in the algorithm. You may think, like, say, if you only have like one follower, that by sharing my video isn't going to do much, but that's where you're wrong. Sharing my video, no matter how many followers you have, is going to help in the algorithm. It's going to help get it pushed out. So please like and share. Mark Gatton here says, have a good night. He is fighting for others that they don't fall into the contract loopholes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's good that he didn't just see, 50 million and sign. It's good that he looked into the contract and really dove deep. My mom says, thanks for the super chats. Yes, thank you everybody for the super chats. Stephanie, Barry, and Coda, and my mom. And thanks to Carl, I believe was his name, on Facebook. Let me just double check for this 50 stars. Don't want to get that wrong, so I'm just going to double check real quick. 1 sec. Don't want to butcher any names or get anything confused. But yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. Yep, Carl Hammers, thank you so much for the 50 stars on Facebook. So yeah, take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.